Welcome back to Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda, giving you all the latest updates on anything and all things Ravens. Please make sure to keep subscribing to the channel and like the videos. Let's dive into the latest I have for you today. So, injury updates real quick. So, Lamar Jackson's going to be out for 2 to 3, maybe 4 weeks, depending on the severity of his hamstring injury. This means that Cooper Rush will probably be starting for the next couple of games. There's good and bad to that. Obviously, Lamar Jackson's not playing. That's the bad. That's the baddest of the bad. Also, mind you, during preseason, Cooper Rush didn't look great. This is why I think Shedeur Sanders should have taken that, hey, like, the Ravens are thinking about going with him, and then he said no, and they're like, all right, we'll move on. In the draft, and this is why I think Shedeur Sanders definitely should have been backup for Lamar. Should have taken that immediately, because now he's on a team that, has a QB crowd room like nobody's business, and he would be starting in the NFL under Lamar Jackson. I will admit, I think Shedeur Sanders could be good. It's just everything else is not good that's surrounding him. Anyway, that's besides the point. Point is, I would rather have Shedeur Sanders be starting against for the Ravens for the next couple of weeks than Cooper Rush. I'd rather have Tyler Huntley than Cooper Rush. But it's like, all right. I mean, it's not Devin Leary. It's well, whatever. But there's good to this, because mind you, Cooper Rush as a starter went 5-1 with the Cowboys, which is pretty good. I mean, to say the least. And then he was the one reason that a couple seasons ago that the Cowboys stayed in playoff contention until Dak Prescott came back. So again, I'm just adding some positivity here. Let's see what Cooper Rush can do. Maybe there can be some, level of hope that we, so as a Ravens team and a fan base, so desperately need, and maybe we'll be okay. I don't think that it's going to be super special, but I also think that, it's just, it's just one of those things that, all right, we're going to go next man up type of deal, Also, there's been no update on Ronnie Stanley, no update on Nate Wiggins. I guess we'll find out later today on who comes back to practice. I don't think Nate Wiggins is going to be at practice. I don't think Ronnie Stanley is going to be at practice. Maybe we'll see Kyle Van Noy come back to practice, or Dan Travis Jones. But again, we're not going to see a bunch of guys against the Texans that I want to have against the Texans, and we'll have to wait and see. Moving on here. Maybe the Ravens are finally taking my advice on replacing Daniel Falele, because now there's a new signing. We have signed former Texans first-round draft pick Kenyon Green, guard, to the practice squad. I am hoping and praying that this is the case. Mind you, Kenyon Green, and just saying this, by the way, he was the first-round pick right before Kyle Hamilton. Pretty cool. I mean, first-round pick, but he's made 23 starts in parts of 3 seasons. That's not good. But at this point, I'm willing to do anything and everything, because we need to just completely reset the offensive line. I'm talking about getting, like, Ronnie Stanley out of there, Voorhees out of there, he's gone. Daniel Falele, I've mentioned my piece on him. The only 2 people I would keep are Tyler Linderbaum and Roger Rosenberg. At this point, I am hoping that this is the next step. Maybe Kenyon Green has like a career resurgence or something. He's still very young. He plays the guard position. I'm hoping he replaces someone. He replaces Daniel Falele. Please, for the love of God, replace Daniel Falele. But I don't know. I don't know what the Ravens' motive is with this, or maybe he'll just be, a guy that they have as a backup later on, and he probably won't get any playing time because Harbaugh likes to be. We all know Harbaugh. He's the guy that his guys are staying on the field until he gets pressure from the front office to be like, bro, like this is getting way out of hand. You gotta bench him. And even then, it's still it's like he puts up a fight for it because it's his guy. Daniel Falele is a Harbaugh. It's like in the WWE a Paul Heyman guy. It's Daniel Falele is a Harbaugh guy, you know. And all right, well, hopefully this is a wake up call, and Kenyon Green gets the start over Daniel Falele or Andrew Voorhees, because I'm at a point where we just need to completely reset the line minus Linderbaum and Rosengarten. Also, moving on here. So, okay, just an interesting stat update here that I found, and this is horrible. It's horrible. This is how bad our defense is, and yet we're still probably not going to get any changes. Through 4 games, the Ravens defense has 4 sacks, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble. 3 of these sacks came from Justin, or what is his name? Nnamdi Madubuike. Sorry with the name change there. I'm still trying to get used to his name change. But 3 of those sacks came from Madubuike. Madubuike is out for the season. Most likely not going to play football again. Goes to show how we were relying on one man to do it, and how we need to completely reset the coaching staff. Because if only one man is doing it, that's not good. Once Madubuike was out, we just didn't apply pressure on any quarterback. That included, the Patrick Mahomes. He was not under any pressure. He was always in the pocket. I mean, mind you, he had to move around a little bit. The guys tried, but it wasn't like he was really like in trouble. Then it just came down to like we have to completely this should be the goal now. Completely working on the trenches, especially when it comes to draft night and in the free agency. Or if somehow we can salvage this season, just start looking. Veteran guys, let's see what we got. Make some trades. Let's see what we can do here, because Madubuike was the only one. It doesn't look good, I mean, mind you, we're going to get some players that come back. Kyle Van Noy will probably come back. Travis Jones. But it just doesn't look good. We're down bad. Roquan's out. Marlon Humphrey's out. Jair Alexander hasn't played since the Bills game. It's just, this is why we're down bad. Madubuike was the only one that was really making a difference on this defense, and now he's not playing. Just throwing that out there. Moving on to some comments here. Thank you for everyone that agreed. Well, everyone did agree pretty much on this, by the way. And it's appalling to me that I'm sorry, I have to say it. It would appall me that anyone would try and defend Harbaugh at this point. And this is very true. This comment right here put the nail in the coffin for me. Another nail in the coffin. Harbs didn't like Ray Lewis or Ed Reed because they had the respect of the locker room. Harbs is an egomaniac. Every player that stepped up and challenged it, they've been cut. Look at Marcus Peters. I remember that. Marcus Peters challenged him on the sideline. He was gone after that season. Gone. And there were some moments where Peters did say, apologize and try to make amends, but Harbs was like, nope, you're gone anyway. Mind you, Peters was on the he was on the downtrend a little bit, but it wasn't like he dropped off completely. It's a perfect example of anyone that challenges Harbaugh gets cut. At this point, we need Lamar Jackson to challenge Harbaugh and just be like, I'm not playing with under your coaching until you're gone. Or Kyle Hamilton does it, or any of these guys that have so much more leverage than John Harbaugh to be able to, step up and say, we aren't playing with you. We aren't going to play with you, and we are loved much more by the fan base than you are. So if you say you like we're gonna walk or we're released next season, okay, we're going to find teams that'll appreciate us, but then you'll have to deal with the fan base. And believe me, if say in a scenario when if that happened, there would be rioting in the streets, rioting in the streets. We're talking people like storming the gates of M&T Bank Stadium if that was the case. I'm because in my personal opinion, Lamar Jackson is 10 times squared more loved by the city of Baltimore, by the state of Maryland, than John Harbaugh. Another comment here. When I got into football in 2022, I got into the Ravens because I liked Lamar, and then it got even better with Henry. But I don't know if I can give this team my care after watching how careless the coaching staff is. We're losing casual. Well, mind you, I've been a Ravens fan my whole life. Whole life. I've been through the dark ages. Dark ages. Chris Redman offense, the Kyle Bowler offense, the post Joe Flacco when it was the post Super Bowl Joe Flacco era when we just lost everyone, and Harb's seat was hot until we drafted Lamar Jackson. If you don't want to ride or die with the Ravens, that is fine. But also losing fans because of the coaching staff, that raises some eyebrows. I've said it once, I'll say it forever. I'm a Ravens fan. I will always love the Ravens, but I don't have to love the coaching staff. 100% agree. Harbs wants yes men for his coaching staff. Fine. But I hope that they find I hope that the front office comes to realize that they need a coach who invests solely his heart and soul into the team rather than surrounding himself with people that just go like that are dogs that just are at his every command, because that's what we need. We need the dogs back. We need coaches that are dogs. We need a Dan Campbell coach. I know I mentioned that before, but at the same time, it's like I want to be able to have a coach that we can trust in, and that's what comes down to why I agree with these comments so much. I want to trust the coaching staff again. Thank you for tuning in to Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda. Again, subscribe to the channel, like the video. I will catch you all later.